Following the death of John Downes, killed by a plastic bullet fired by the RUC at an anti-internment rally, a community-organised public inquiry, sponsored by Springhill Community House, was held in the Conway Mill. Belfast City Council immediately stripped Springhill Community House of its annual £500 grant, a blow that would materialise as the first step in a state campaign against the development at Conway Mill. The British government followed the council's lead by introducing political vetting. Douglas Hurd, the then Secretary of State, declared, "Some community groups, or persons prominent in the direction or management of some community groups, have sufficiently close links with paramilitary organisations to give rise to a grave risk that, to support those organisations, would have the effect of improving their standing and furthering the aims of paramilitary organisations." This was an attempt to isolate community activists and to encourage community groups to conduct their own witch hunts in order to survive. No proof had to be supplied by the British government, and no appeal was possible. Through political vetting, the British government tried to control communities and their campaign for social justice. The first target was Conway Mill. The committee was refused grant aid for their job creation scheme. The education centre was notified that funding was being withdrawn from the creche. The Belfast Education and Library Board informed Springhill Community House that all funding for tutors in the mill was to cease immediately, and the Arts Council, although they continued to fund some events for a short period, eventually told the mill that funding would stop. In the months that followed, several other nationalist community groups were also hit, but Conway Mill remained the biggest target. Many of the businesses in the mill, although they too were denied funding and support, stayed with the project. Tutors in the education centre gave their time voluntarily. The committee was denied access not only to local public funds, but European and international funds for Ireland as well. Many charitable trusts also turned down applications on the basis of the political vetting. Community and voluntary organisations campaigned against political vetting, but in the case of the mill, the ban remained in place for 10 years. Over this period, Conway Mill survived only through support from its friends locally and internationally, and the dedication of the committee determined to realise the potential of both the building and the people working and learning within it. The building and programme of activities were held together by the limited rental income from leasing units and donations which came regularly from our friends in America through the Doors of Hope. A cheque always seemed to arrive when it was most needed, to fix a leaking roof, install a lift to provide better access, or organise a conference. Without this financial support and moral encouragement, survival would have been much more difficult, if not impossible. There were 19 tenant organisations in November 1995 when the ban was eventually lifted. There are now 52 tenants based in the mill. They employ over 90 people and work in a wide range of fields: manufacturing, services, education, community development and the arts and crafts sector. There are 20 craft enterprises which have been supported by the Mill Committee in a variety of ways. Low-cost workspace, the Sean O'Neill Craft Centre, which was opened 2 years ago to display and sell craft produce from local artists. The Space Gallery was newly painted and a new lighting system installed this year, and access to shared craft equipment to defray the capital cost of new pottery enterprises setting up. 2 semi-permanent exhibitions have been installed at the mill: a history of the local linen industry and a display of craftwork and artefacts from the jails, including Armagh and Long Kesh.